Hello. We're from the Las Vegas Crime Lab. Are you Jack Shell?
Why, by my stars and bars, indeed I am. What can I do for you? I'm always willing and able to assist our men and women in law enforcement.
We're investigating the death of Clorinda Jackson. We understand you both had shows at the Silver Skies Casino.
Hold on. Did you just say that Clorinda died? She's dead? Oh, my dear Lord, how on earth? What happened?
We're not quite sure yet.
But you folks wouldn't be here talking to me if you didn't think she'd been murdered. This is just the most awful thing I've ever heard in my whole life. Clorinda, she was a dear, dear sweet friend, and just a magnificent talent. We shall not see another like her again in this business, I'll tell you that. She will be profoundly missed.
Mr. Shell.
Jack!
Jack. I'm afraid we're going to need you to establish your alibi during the time Clorinda was murdered.
And to tell you the truth, I'm not really sure how I'd be able to verify this for you, but I'd be willing to swear on a stack of Bibles that I was at my home last night, by myself, fast asleep.
Do you often go to bed so early?
I tell you, I learned the very hardest way that you will not enjoy longevity in this business if you insist on burning your candle at both ends. So, I just tossed that sumbitch candle as far away from me as I could. I cannot tell you the number of lives that could be saved each year if they just heed my living example.
I'm sure that's true, Jack.
Look, be straight with me. You don't honestly believe that I had something to do with killing Clorinda, now do you? I could not honestly tell you whether or not I have seen that or any other particular piece of jewelry before. It's just not the sort of thing I concern myself with when it comes to making a person's acquaintance.
You considered Miss Jackson a close personal friend, but might there have been a certain amount of professional rivalry?
No. Well, if anything, I'd call it sibling rivalry, pure and simple. We'd both grown up together in show business. Had our share of ups and downs, let me tell you what. And then, by chance, we found ourselves here in Sin City, both with shows at the Silver Skies. Her show'd come in right after mine in the, main showroom. You see, I play the lounge. But anyway, we still share some crew and some staff, and even some audience, I'd say. There was a certain amount of competitiveness, sure, but why would you ask a leading question like that? Did someone say something?
Mr. Shell.
Now, please, call me Jack. My friends all call me Jack. Now, did someone say I had it out for Clorinda or something? 'Cause that most assuredly was not the case. And I definitely have to say that person is lying to you.
Did you ever see Clorinda have words with anyone? A disgruntled employee, perhaps, maybe a problem with management?
No. Now, look, you can't have me speaking out of school now, can you? I mean, it don't feel right to talk about rumors and innuendos and such. But, well, I don't think it was really very much of a secret that she and Ernest, that's her husband, they weren't getting along too well. And, surprise, surprise, I mean, Clorinda's the fourth Mrs. Ernest Goldwasser, so I'm pretty sure Ernest's not too good at communicating with the wife.
Jack, thank you for your cooperation. If we have any further questions, is this the best place to reach you?
That's right here. You need anything at all, I will get it for you. I'm 1,000% behind you. I wish you Godspeed.
Hey. We got him down in interrogation. He walked off with his wife's purse, so we're holding him for interfering with a crime scene.
That sounds like an honest mistake from a grieving husband to me.
Me too, honestly. But it is what it is. Let's go talk to him.
Look, you want to tell me why Captain Brass is accusing me of removing evidence from a crime scene when all I did was take my wife's personal belongings from Twilight Palms and bring them back home with me?
Mr. Goldwasser, your wife's been the victim of a homicide.
Homicide? Do you know who killed her? I don't think so. No, I don't recognize that ring.
You hesitated a moment.
I thought for a moment that it looked familiar, but I don't know why. Maybe I've seen it before. I honestly don't know.
Would you mind trying the ring on your left ring finger?
I'd rather not remove my own wedding ring if at all possible.
Please. Mr. Goldwasser, it will only take a moment, and it will help our investigation.
All right. Give it here. Yeah, it's a bit small. Can't get it over my knuckle. Sorry. That's definitely not my ring. No. Is that the man who killed my wife?
Mr. Goldwasser, I need to ask you to calm down. I know how difficult this must be for you, but we're doing the best we can to conduct a full and thorough investigation of your wife's death.
I have no idea who you're talking about. None whatsoever, but if he had something to do with her death, I swear to God. Look, please take my wife's personal items. You'll need them. They're evidence, right? Take whatever you need. Do whatever you have to do.
In the last few days before Ms. Jackson's death, Mr. Goldwasser called her cell phone several times. Well, no surprise there. His last call was made at 10 p.m. on the day of the murder, which is around the approximate time of death. Wait a moment, there's some kind of trace evidence on that phone. This phone is conspicuously free of fingerprints. I wonder if that thread came from something used to wipe it down.
Cheating bitch! I'll kill you and the little coward you're screwing!
That call was made at 10 p.m., but the last call on the phone was to check voicemail at 10:15.
I have no idea. I didn't touch anything in her purse. Affair? How dare you say that to me?
We know it isn't an easy thing to discuss, Mr. Goldwasser, but please, tell us what you know.
Oh, God, this is all such a shock to me. I had no idea she was seeing anyone else. Cheating bitch. I'll kill you and the little coward you're screwing. I see. Yeah, that sounded really bad, even to me. But you have to understand, she just left me a message telling me that she was sleeping with someone. I would never have actually done anything.
So when they found her dead in the hot tub a couple of hours later, that was just a big coincidence?
Yes, damn it! I was at home. I got home from work at about 9:45 and I heard Clorinda's message. I had to calm down a little bit before I called her, so...
You left that message after calming down.
Yeah, I thought I had myself under control, but I heard her voice on the voicemail and I flipped out all over again. That was right at 10. I remember because the whole time I was talking, the stupid bell from the church up the hill was ringing.
I think I do remember hearing a faint bell in the background when we were listening to the message through the audio processing suite. It might warrant another listen.
Cheating bitch! I'll kill you and the little coward you're screwing! cheating bitch! I'll kill you and the little coward you're screwing!
Now I know why that bell sounded so familiar. I remember that church. But when I first came out here to teach my seminar, a colleague from the university was showing me around. He's a history professor. He told me that the church was built in the middle of nowhere, specifically to allow for ringing that bell at all hours. I can definitely confirm that it's more than an hour away from the Twilight Palms Rehabilitation Center. Ernie's alibi holds up. Looks like you're off the hook for now, but we're hoping you might stay and answer a few more questions.
Like I told you before we got sidetracked, I will do anything I can to help you find whoever killed my wife. Drugs? What are you talking about?
Someone put flunitrazepam in her drink. A roofie.
Roofie? Somebody spiked her drink? I can think of one son of a bitch who might have wanted her dead. Jack Shell.
Jack Shell? The Stars and Bars guy? Doesn't he have a show at the Silver Skies, too?
He sure does, the no-talent bastard. Not only that, but we recently found out that the casino is going to cut one of its shows, either Jack's or Clorinda's. I can send you a copy of the email from my phone. Oh, you can bet that Jack wanted to keep his job, so he made damn sure Clorinda wouldn't show up to work today.
Hello, Jack. Do you have a moment to talk?
I surely do. What can I do you for?
We have an internal email from the casino stating that either your show or Clorinda Jackson's would be canceled. Were you aware of it?
Sadly, I was all too aware of it. Yes, but it ain't called Show Friends now, is it? This is a business, and apparently, according to the accountants here, the entertainment wing of the operation wasn't flapping too strong. Of course, I disagreed with their evaluation. I see myself affecting people in ways that cannot be measured in cold, hard cash. But in the end, wasn't my call to make.
Jack, you ever pay Clorinda a visit after hours? Perhaps between 10 and 11 p.m. last night?
Now, it's my nature to offer myself completely to those who protect and serve our community, but I truly cannot accept the tone of your question. There is an insinuation in it that I simply will not tolerate. Now, if you please, my dressing room is my very special place. It's sacred to me. Now, I take to the stage momentarily, and I need to focus myself sharply, so if you please, we must continue this discussion at some further point. I wish you a very pleasant day.
Nope, I think we've covered everything.
I didn't touch anything in her purse. A thread was on her phone. So what? I mean, that could have come from anywhere.
What do you need?
If Mr. Shell touched anything at the crime scene, Captain Brass will surely get us a search warrant. You thinking what I'm thinking? The prints are in plain view. Don't need a warrant. We have a match to Jack Shell. I think his great American routine is about to wear thin.
Yeah? Show me what you got. We put that print at the crime scene together with the casino's internal memo, and I have a pretty good feeling we're going to get a judge's signature on that search warrant.
Jack, we have a search warrant to examine your dressing room.
How dare you, sir? Have you all lost your damn minds?
Jack, simmer down, okay? We have your fingerprint on a bottle of Deranger, which was left behind at the scene of Miss Jackson's murder.
There've got to be at least 20 bottles of that stuff in the break room fridge. I must have touched that one before Clarinda took it. That's all that is. It means nothing.
Nevertheless, we have a warrant, so please, let us in.
I have never been so humiliated in all my life.
Seems Ms. Jackson didn't so much turn over a new leaf as have it raked. Ah, the mother of thousands. If the young plant we found at the crime scene was spawned from this one, it would have been recently. We should be able to match them up at the lab. We need to be able to match the missing sprout to the empty spot from which it originated. Is that spinach or mold?
I do not have anything to say to you.
I understand. I would want the same thing in your shoes. It's really day shift's case, but I'll see if I can get someone.
How about those two? They seem to have enough time to stand around and watch us talk. Maybe we can put them to work.
Actually, ma'am,
Lieutenant Briggs. At least until I get this case wrapped up. Then I can get on with my retirement.
I'll leave you to it. Good luck.
I may need it. Now here's the situation. Some maniac dropped a bowling ball out of a second-story window and killed the kid tagging the building below. Day shift got a piece of skin from the thumb hole on the ball, but they weren't able to work up a sample from it. Now, I don't need DNA to tell me who did this, but the courts do. So I need you to isolate the sample for me.
Lieutenant, we'll certainly do our best. Excellent job. Let's hope this brings Lieutenant Briggs one step closer to retirement. Nothing there. Nothing. Nothing interesting there. And so we reunite the mother of thousands with one of her children, which isn't good news for Mr. Shell.
Hey, I'm gonna need to see some evidence before I go to a judge. Okay, you got the warrant.
Jack, we found traces of the plant from your dressing room at the crime scene. We know you were there.
That's quite an extraordinary claim, considering it isn't the least bit true. I don't even know where Clarinda lives. Heavens, no.
Would you mind trying it on?
I don't care much about jewelry, but if it will aid in your investigation, I will acquiesce. I can't speak to its craftsmanship or tastefulness, but the ring fits, I assure you, coincidentally well. Nevertheless, it is most assuredly not my ring. I didn't even know she had a phone to be wiped. Oh, that poor dear. I wasn't aware she had a problem, no.
You had a confidential memo that specifically mentions Clarinda's alcohol problem.
You lied to us, Jack. You gave Clarinda that bottle because you needed her out of the way.
Well, you just know it all, don't you? I suppose there's no point in continuing this ruse. Yes, I knew about Clarinda's proclivities, and yes, I did pay her a social call last night. I just wanted to give her enough rope to... Let me choose my words carefully here. I just wanted to provide her with the opportunity to drink her way right out of rehabilitation, thus ensuring my continued employment. But you listen to me. I couldn't possibly kill a woman.
So, you draw the line at getting an alcoholic drunk and ruining her career.
Your point is well taken, sir. It was not what I would call my shining moment, but believe it or not, I do have the self-awareness to realize that if I lose my little second-rate show at that little second-rate casino, my career is over. I would never even consider killing somebody, but there can come a point when your future is on the line that you stop worrying about what will keep you proud and focus on what's going to keep you fed. I must admit I would not be in the deplorable situation in which I currently find myself had I, as you say, taken the time to wipe that bottle down. But the truth is, I didn't have the time. Right as I was about to leave Clarinda to her hot tub and the booze fest that I could only guess was about to ensue, some fool walked in on us. Yes, a champion dullard casually strolled in only to sneeze all over my lucky sweater. Why, I had to take it off as soon as I returned to my dressing room. Couldn't put it anywhere but back at the end of the rack because goodness knows when the dry cleaning...
Jack, stay focused. Did this gentleman sneeze on you before or after you slipped Clarinda the Mickey?
Slipped her a Mickey? What on earth are you... Oh, dear. I just realized something. There is something I haven't told you. Getting her drunk wasn't my idea. It was Ernest Goldwasser's.
I'm having trouble understanding what Mr. Goldwasser would stand to gain from getting his wife fired.
I asked that sneaky son of a gun about the very same thing when he came to me with his plan. He explained it like this. Ernest was done with showbiz, and even more done with Clarinda in showbiz. He wanted her to settle down, start squeezing out some pups, which at her age would have been ambitious at best. But as far as she was concerned, she was gonna die up there on that stage. Whether it was singing or spinning a roulette wheel or asking folks how many times a night they make whoopee or whatever. So he came to me with a bottle of her favorite cocktail and that damn memo about Clarinda's contract. He said there was no way she would take a drink in front of him, but that she would never back down from anything she saw as a challenge from me. That last part I knew from experience to be true. But now, having been informed of this unfortunate business of her drink being spiked, I think it's altogether clear what happened. That no-good backstabber set me up.